What's up everybody and welcome back to another episode of 5 cool mods for Fallout 4. So we have been having quite a few episodes of the series as of late. We've been fortunately getting quite a few extra mods for Fallout 4 over the past few weeks. It seems like a lot of people are moving back to the game. And on top of that, it actually seems like some mod authors are coming back and actually porting mods that they otherwise hadn't. It's really cool to see mod authors doing this, especially because it's so far after the fact that a lot of people kind of lost hope, but it seems like a lot of these mod authors are paying attention and actually listening to some of the requests. With all that being said, if you guys do want to help out the series, one way you could do that is by leaving a comment and like on the video. Due to YouTube's new algorithm, this is actually just the best way you could promote a video such as this and actually just really help my channel do a little bit better. With all that being said, if you guys do enjoy, I encourage you to consider subscribing, but with that, let's just jump right into it. So the first mod I do want to show you guys is actually one I have covered in the past, but it only just now made its release onto Xbox One. That's going to be HUDFramework. This is a pretty big release for Fallout 4, even if it doesn't seem so at first glance. Basically, what this is going to allow mod authors to do is actually create different widgets and elements for the HUD to kind of enhance the way you play the game. The same mod author that did release the mod did release two widgets himself, one giving you kind of the status of companions, showing them what kind of stamina they have, how many stim packs they have left, and of course just how much health they have. This is actually really nice to see, and it does right out of the box have support for multiple companions. So if you do have one of those mods that allows you to have 4 or 5 different companions, this mod will help support that. One more is it actually just going to show you the time of day. So this is actually really useful in Fallout 4. I find myself not really ever knowing what time it is in the game. Obviously, yes, you could do that by looking at your Pip-Boy, but sometimes it's nice to know if it's going to be getting dark relatively shortly, and it's nice to have that just in the top corner of your screen because again, it is pretty minimal and not really intrusive at all. But again, this mod is provided as a framework, so as time goes on, more and more mod authors are supposed to be making more widgets for this mod. I think that's when this is going to really shine, as mod authors do take advantage of that. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the next mod. So then we do have Immersive HUD by Gopher. So previously we have had Immersive HUD Lite. This was kind of a rendition of this mod, but it wasn't really well made, and honestly it had a lot of little quirks that didn't make it work particularly well. Now with the release of the full version of Immersive HUD, this is going to be kind of a much more polished and nicer release of the mod, but it now is going to be requiring HUDFramework as a dependency. This is actually giving it a lot of the functionality. If you've never heard of Immersive HUD, basically what this allows you to do is toggle your HUD for different situations. So there's a number of different options you do have here. It does add in a really nice kind of menu so you could change how everything's going to appear. For example, let's say you only want your health bar to appear when you're under a certain amount of health or when combat starts. Or maybe you only want your compass to appear when you're sprinting around or you actually start getting into combat. Some totally new functionality added in with the HUD framework is actually the ability to toggle these by a key switch. So you could set it so when you hit the E key, your kind of crosshair and different HUD elements will come on, which is actually really nice to see, and I can see a lot of people using that. This mod's actually really well integrated. One big difference between the Immersive HUD Lite and the kind of full version of the mod is it actually just works much better with HUD elements that kind of don't always appear on your screen. So previously the way the mod worked was kind of just by hiding everything, so like if you had subtitles and stuff like that, it would kind of be glitchy and not work properly. Fortunately, all this has been fixed and it actually is just a very cool mod, and definitely one I would recommend downloading if you don't really like the clunkiness of the HUD, which personally I fall into that boat. So next up we have Creative Clutter. This is actually a pretty cool mod for people that don't necessarily like spending hours upon hours on their settlements, but actually like having nice looking settlements. I definitely fall into that category. So what this mod's going to add in is a number of different placeable furniture objects for your settlements that actually have a lot of details added into them. So for example, some of the different beds or the different tables are going to have kind of Nuka-Colas or just different objects placed on top of them to look like there's kind of clutter and just some interesting things going on with them. But obviously you don't have to do this yourself by hand like you otherwise would have. You don't have to spend hours trying to place all of them perfectly. Now you're just going to be able to place down this table that looks really cool, and it's going to look like there's some noise and action going on again in your home or room or whatever it may be. There are a ton of new objects added in by this, and I know the mod author has said he does want to continue to add more and more to this mod, which I'm definitely very excited to see. And again, it's great for people that don't want to spend a ton of time on their settlements, but this mod gives you the ability to still have them look nice. Definitely a good download, and honestly just a lot of high quality work with this mod. So next up we have the HK USP. The screenshots for this mod definitely do not do it justice. This gun, model, and textures are actually very high quality, and especially when you get into some of the close-ups, you realize how much detail and just how good the gun actually looks. This is actually one of those old mods I was talking about in the intro of this video. It came out quite a while ago for Fallout 4 and just really never made its way over to the Xbox release, but fortunately now it has been ported over. The gun itself is pretty high quality. It doesn't necessarily have all the bells and whistles that some of the newer weapon mods do have, but regardless, it still fits into the game very well. well. Obviously having kind of custom textures and a custom model, as well as a number of different attachments that are again custom made. Definitely not as many options as you do have on some newer weapon mods, but you still kind of have your different scopes, a silencer, as well as some of the different other receivers. And if all that wasn't enough, it also does have custom sounds. All around, it is a pretty good weapon mod. I actually found myself quite enjoying using this, especially because I did use it back in the day, but I kind of forgot about it or uninstalled it from Fallout 4 as it was replaced by other things, but it definitely holds up to the times. I wouldn't steer away from this just because it's old. I definitely think it's worth a download, and all around just a pretty cool mod. So last but certainly not least, we have the Slooty Vault Jumpsuit. I feel like this is actually a pretty good balanced Slooty mod. Obviously integrating kind of a Slooty version of the Vault Jumpsuit into Fallout 4, but it's not too bad. It's more of a tight version with kind of a zipper pull down a little too low. This was actually made originally for PC, but ported over by Eleonora to Fallout 4 and Xbox One. The suit itself is very high quality. It does come in a number of different color options, although personally I like sticking with the blue of the original Vault suit. We could also get kind of yellows and reds and just some different colors. That it's really nice to have just to spice things up a little bit. On top of that, it does have some harnesses integrated, which again fit very well with the kind of tactical feel that the suit does provide. And all around, again, it is a very high quality mod and definitely has an audience out there. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for this episode of 5 cool mods for Fallout 4. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed as always. If you guys did watch to this point in the video, let me know by commenting coupon down below. With all that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed it again, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.